Welcome to Mix. We will be reviewing the Amazfit Balance, and as usual on this channel you'll find some aspects that haven't been covered by other reviewers. First, let's talk about the interesting features of the Amazfit Balance. The first one is the body composition feature, which is rarely found in a smartwatch. To use it, simply select your current weight and place both fingers on the two Amazfit Balance buttons. In just 10 seconds, it can detect body fat, skeletal muscle, muscle mass, water, bone mass, protein, body mass index or BMI, and basal metabolism. I'm not sure how accurate the results are, but this feature indeed works because I've tested it with several people and it provided different results according to each person's body conditions. For example, individuals with more body fat show higher body fat results compared to those who are lean. Meanwhile, testing the same person yield consistent results. I retested it after changing the watch language to Indonesian and at different times, and the results were exactly the same. This means the features genuinely analyze body conditions and doesn't provide random data. This data is useful for those who are on diet or engaged in bodybuilding to track their progress or simply ensure that their body is well hydrated. For other health feature, there is Readiness. This is to monitor our health condition, both physically and mentally. When we say mental, it's not in the psychological sense, although there is a connection, but its value is derived from sleep quality, breathing quality, and heart rate variability. For more information, you can read the explanation on the feature. As for the sleep tracker feature, it works well with no issue and accurately reflects my sleep and wake times. It can also detect daytime naps. Now let's briefly discuss the design. There are two color variants, Midnight with a rubber strap and Sunset Gray with a canvas strap. Mine is the Midnight version, which has a darker color than the other version. In terms of design, I really like it. It looks premium but subtle, not overdone, and the build quality is solid. The Amazfit Balance has a crown on the top right that can be rotated and pressed. The rotation is smooth without clicks, but with each step you can activate the watch vibrator to know when you've switched. I recommend enabling button mode on the Amazfit Balance. When this is active, almost all watch operations can be performed using the top and bottom buttons without the need for touchscreen interaction. If button mode is active, the crown button can be used for selection and the bottom button for going back. If button mode is disabled, the crown button is only for returning to home and the bottom button is only for activating shortcut features. The bezel diameter is 46mm, but when measured including the outer part, it becomes 48mm. The lock-to-lock distance is 50mm. The thickness without sensors is 10.6mm, it's quite thin. During unboxing, I was a bit concerned because I thought the strap was a special design. It turns out that the strap is a common 22mm size, so there are plenty of options available in the market, including stainless steel, canvas, or rubber sports straps, depending on personal preference. Here is how it looks when worn by me. For those who want to apply a screen protector, the screen surface diameter is around 38mm. Personally, I usually don't use one. The display uses a 1.5-inch AMOLED screen with auto brightness. Its brightness level is 1500 nits, one of the brightest available on the market today. Even outdoors, the screen remains visible. The touchscreen response is also good with no issue. The selection of watch faces is to my liking. Some watch faces create a 3D-like impression, not actual 3D, but the color design and shadows give an illusion of depth, resembling a regular analog or digital watch. I find it cool. Additional watch faces can be added through the Set app on your phone. Some watch faces are customizable, allowing you to set actions for when you click on specific icons, among other options. To delete a watch face on the watch, you can swipe up when selecting a watch face. As information, if you want to use your own photo as a watch face, you can choose the custom background option in the Set app. You can also use the portrait watch face if you want to use a picture of a person. It looks more natural as it detects parts of the body or the human face, creating a more integrated look. You can use up to 3 different photos of individuals. Amazfit Balance has a keep screen on feature that keeps the main screen on for a maximum of 20 minutes and can be repeated. As for the always on display options, they are also quite good. You can choose from several provided options or you can set it to follow the style of the selected watch face. Here's an example of one that I like. Moving on to the sports feature of the Amazfit Balance, it's quite comprehensive. There are 150 types of sports that can be selected, and the supporting features are also good. This includes interval training, a virtual pacer for comparison during running, cadence assistance, and many more. You can set goals based on workout effect or data such as distance, durations, and calories. You can also set reminders if your heart rate exceeds a safe limit based on distance, pace, cadence, times, reminders for drinking waters, reminders to energy intake, and reminders to return. A great feature of the Amazfit Balance is that the watch will speak in English to provide information about your sports data, for example when reaching a specific distance or when reminders are active. I haven't been feeling well this week and haven't had the chance to engage in intense workout, especially running, but here are the data results from a light jog exercise. For VO2 max, you can check it in the workout status menu. Sports data can be synchronized with Strava and several other sports platforms. For strength training, Amazfit Balance can detect weightlifting movements, allowing you to record the number of sets and reps. For jump rope, it can detect the number of jumps, and for golf swing, it can detect the movement of our hand swing, among other activities. Amazfit Balance is water resistant up to 5 atm, so it can be used for swimming in shallow waters. During swimming workouts, it can still detect your heart rate. The generated data is also comprehensive, including swimming styles, swell index, and more. Because this watch has GPS, there's also an option for open water swimming that can record the swimming route in open environments. After swimming, the water drain feature will automatically activate to remove water droplet from the speaker holes. Make sure the speaker holes are facing downwards. You can also manually activate the water draining feature from the quick settings menu. We can import GPX file to create training routes. GPX files can be obtained from other fitness apps such as Strava app, the Komoot app, or even Google Maps. For a more detailed tutorial on importing from Google Maps, you can refer to the Amazfit Cheetah video review. The process is the same. This GPX file can serve as a guide for our sports routes. For example, when my position doesn't align with the designated route, there are dashed lines directing me to the nearest point on the route. Here's an example when we are on track. The white line represents the path we have taken, and the green line is the route we created. When we are exercising and want to return home, we can activate the track back feature, which will guide us back to the starting point of the workout. The options include a straight line to the starting point or following the same path as before. For GPS accuracy, I have tested it several times, and the recorded training route aligns with the intended path. The GPS locking speed is also fast as long as the AGPS or assisted GPS data is updated. As seen here, even under a canopy, the GPS can lock quickly. Here's another example. Amazfit Balance can detect more than 25 satellites with a decent signal strength, even in a location surrounded by buildings and concrete bridges. In short, the GPS on Amazfit Balance works well. The watch comes with a fairly comprehensive set of sensors, including GPS, a compass, barometer, and altimeter. The barometer sensors provides a reminder or storm indicator when the air pressure changes to a certain level. The step accuracy is good, with a difference of fewer than 10 steps from testing 1000 steps, achieving an accuracy of over 99%. The heart rate sensor is also accurate compared with a heart rate belt, showing similar results, though not exactly the same. For more precise heart rate monitoring, Amazfit Balance can be paired or connected via Bluetooth to a dedicated heart rate detection device, such as a heart rate belt. There is also a temperature sensor located on the bottom, and it has been tested and works well. The watch can also detect blood oxygen levels. Amazfit Balance is equipped with a microphone and speaker, allowing it to be used for Bluetooth calls. However, for WhatsApp calls on my Infinix Android phone, it does not work. Only notifications are received, but it's reported to support WhatsApp call on certain Samsung phones. On the iPhone, we can receive a WhatsApp call directly using Amazfit Balance. Notifications for messages works well. For WhatsApp message, you can reply with emojis or use quick replies that you prepare in advance. Direct typing for message replies is not supported. Amazfit Balance can store music files directly on the watch with an available capacity of 2.2 GB if you do not install additional apps. If a music file is around 5 MB, the watch can store 300 to 400 music files, which is sufficient. With built-in Wi-Fi, file transfer processes are faster compared to Bluetooth. The phone doesn't have to be connected to a Wi-Fi network. It can use Wi-Fi direct from phone to the watch. In other words, file can be transferred from the phone to the watch quickly, anytime and anywhere. You can listen to music through the watch speaker, and it can also connect it to Bluetooth headphones. If you want to exercise while listening to music without carrying a phone, that's totally possible, especially since it has built-in GPS. However, if you bring your phone, you can also use it to control the music player on your phone. This watch also features voice notes, which can be handy if you suddenly get an idea to avoid forgetting it. Later, voice memos can be transferred to the phone and then shared on desired platforms. As the watch has a speaker, you can set alarms and notifications to have sound, or you can choose to mute them and have only vibrations, or vice versa, only sound with no vibration. Unfortunately, the sound selection cannot be changed, and the alarm volume might be a bit low according to my preference. It would be more effective, in my opinion, if the sound were simple and sharp, like a quick beep 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 beep. It's better, for the vibration strength is strong and can be felt on the wrist, sufficient to wake someone up. Through the Zap app, you can install additional features on Amazfit Balance, such as mini games and other mini applications. Some are free while others are paid, like Navigation Wear, which is useful for forwarding navigation information from the phone to the watch. As of the making of this video, there are over 170 applications that can be installed, meaning there are 170 additional features that can be added to Amazfit Balance if desired. A note for mini games: if you find that they cannot be controlled or do not move, turn off the button mode in the settings or preference. Weakness of Amazfit Balance. The first one is that it doesn't use a complex operating systems like Wear OS, for example. This results in limitations such as the inability to play videos on the watch. However, on the flip side, this contributes to the significantly longer battery life of Amazfit Balance compared to smartwatches using Wear OS or other complex operating systems. So if I were to go hiking or on adventure, I would choose a Amazfit Balance over a smartwatch with a complex OS because of its longer battery life, which can be useful for track back or simply using the compass, altimeter, and barometer sensors. Speaking of battery life, with 1 hour of GPS usage in high accuracy mode and the screen continuously on during sports mode, the watch battery decreased by 4 to 5%, similar to Amazfit's claims that it can last 26 hours with continuous GPS use. It will last longer if GPS is set to a more power-saving mode. In normal usage, the Amazfit Balance is claimed to last up to 14 days and up to 5 days with always on display active. I tested it with always on active and it lasted for about 4 days. With the Readiness feature active, it lasted 8 to 10 days, which is still quite durable. If the Readiness feature is disabled, I believe it could reach the claimed 14 days. The second drawback when compared to Amazfit Cheetah is that the Amazfit Balance cannot display offline maps during navigations, which Amazfit Cheetah can do. Hopefully in the future, Amazfit Balance will also have this capability. But when compared to other smartwatches in the same price range, many also cannot display offline maps. Other features of Amazfit Balance can be seen in the video. Amazfit Balance has an offline voice command feature in English for some commands such as starting a workout. However, I never use it because it's more practical to use the touchscreen or press the buttons directly. It also has some AI features like Sleep Coach, Sleep Aura to help maximize sleep quality, and Alexa voice command. Unfortunately, many of these features cannot be used in Indonesia, at least for now. NFC can only be used for payments in Europe and China. In conclusion, considering the few drawbacks just discussed, in my opinion, Amazfit Balance stands out as one of the best smartwatches available at this moment. Many reviewers appreciate this watch. For note, this is not sponsored videos. True to its name, Balance, this watch offers a balanced combination of smartwatch and sportwatch features. Things I like about Amazfit Balance include its sports feature, more than enough to support my activities. The body composition feature to monitor body conditions. I like the design, screen quality, watch face options, and the always on display style along with its long-lasting battery. So it's really balanced for my needs and preference. I repeat, balanced for my needs and preference, which may differ from others. Thank you for visiting Getting a Mix channel. I hope this video is helpful for someone and see you in the next video.